Okay, so I think this is a pretty important message for today, and it's probably largely targeted at the parents that watch my video and those that are soon to be or plan to become parents, and that it's important that you show up to your kids in the best possible manner that you can, especially in business if you're a business owner. So I'm going to tell a few stories here and hope it makes sense, but I spend a lot of time working. I'm building some really important stuff, and that's important to me, and I'm a builder, and that's what I'm about, right? So when I say a builder, I like building things. You know what I mean? I build houses and shit, but I build businesses, and I build companies, and I build people. And I've got Finn, who's 2, and I've got Liam, Finn's nearly 2, and Liam is nearly 4 this year. And Liam is starting to become very aware of like what I do. He'll walk into my office and be like, "Oh, Daddy, on a meeting." Do you know what I mean? Or, "Oh, Daddy, working." Or this is how he talks. He's cute, obviously. Gets his looks from his mum. But he's at that stage now where he even sees the work ethic. So we're outside yesterday and we're digging a hole to install a new gate, my dad and I. And Dad's digging out the hole and he starts helping, and he's really getting in there and really helping well, you know what I mean? Then we start doing the concrete, and he's like in the shoveling away, turning the concrete over and blah, blah, getting dirty. He doesn't care, you know what I mean? And then we start filling up the hole, and he's there. He's like, "Daddy, move." I do. You know what I mean? Then he's like, he really wants to help. And it's always been important to me, but it's a bit of a, okay, I need to really step this up now and be like, what is he seeing me do in a business point of view? Disregarding the fact that I should be exercising more and I should be doing this and I should be doing that. That's another video, right? But for the point of this exercise and this video, he's starting to see the way I run businesses, right? And 2 things are going to happen throughout his life that shape how his life ends up being, right? And he's either going to be like very successful as a business person if he decides to go down that path, and I don't mind if he doesn't. I'm happy for him to work in the zoo and feed the bloody lions and shit. Sounds like a pretty easy job, other than you might get eaten, but probably easier than what I do potentially. But it's really important to me that Liam understands like how to sell, how to do marketing, how to run operations, how to do customer service properly, how to understand finances, right? Because kids are going to go to school, and no crapping on schools. There's a lot of amazing schools, and I've got some friends that work at schools, and I've been told that things are considerably different now, and I hope they are. But I won't bugger all about business at school. I learned about business by watching my dad. My dad would go out and cut people's grass, and he'd go, "It'll take me half an hour, and I'll charge him $20 or something," right? And that was his business. He's like, "That's it. I buy all the equipment and whatever. That cost me a couple of grand and, make my money back in a couple of months. But $20 to do a lawn, $20 to do a lawn, $25 to do the edges," right? That was my business education. I didn't learn much about business from my parents other than that, However, I think it's really, really important that us as business owners, and especially you watching this video, if you're a business owner, that you are the best version of yourself when it comes to running your business, right? Because if you're not the best version of yourself, the most educated, not necessarily the most skilled, but the most educated as you can be, then you're going to pass down most of that to your kids. So if you're shit at finances and you're terrible at sales and you're no good at marketing and you can't even pick a good product and the 500 other things that you don't know how to do in your business, then your kids are probably going to be like, "Well, that's what I learned from mum or dad," right? And to me, that's an issue. And I think it should be an issue to all of you, right? So I feel that all kids should, at a very, very young age, learn financial literacy, very well. Do you know what I mean? You should know your margins and your markups and your profits and simple, basic stuff. And you should know how to do sales at a young age. You should know how to ask for the sale, and then you should know how to get the sale, and then you should know how to fulfill the sale, and then you should know how to make sure the customers are happy so they tell other people, right? all of these skills are incredibly, incredibly important. So if you don't possess those skills at the moment, right, then, and you have no intention of being the best that you can be at, you know, you're never going to master them. Like, you know, like I've been in business for a very long time, and I'm not even like a third of the way where I could be with most things, you know. And my mates and fuck, you're really good at business, Paul. I'm like, no, I'm so far away, it's ridiculous, right? In my mind, because I'm obsessive about learning and becoming the best version in business that I can. And I like to think my business partners will probably say the same thing. Like they say very nice things about me. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful, but I'm like, no, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. And I think that like everybody should think like that, you know, for the reason being that it's, you know, the people that are going to benefit the most about you being the best version of yourself that you can is the people around you, especially the little people. You know, as Liam and Finn get older and, you know, they come to work and they, you know, see me in the office running a board meeting or doing a sales call or, you know, like working with the e-com brands that we do and the ones that we own, you know, like, oh, well, okay, I'm learning this stuff from Dad. And, you know, what they're learning is the right stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so, because at their age, they're not going to be able to filter whether, oh, is that good or is that bad? What Dad's doing in that business, they're just probably going to be like, that's the way it's done. Do you know what I mean? So for you, just ridiculously important that you're doing it the right way. You're doing it the best possible way, and you've gone as far as you can go at that point in time with obtaining the knowledge that you can, so that those around you can see and witness what you're doing, right? Because if not, then, and this is probably where I'm probably trying to get to with this video, if not, then let's just imagine you're shit at sales and you don't know how to ask for a sale, you know. And again, a sale is much like dating. If like there's a gorgeous chick or a gorgeous dude and you're like, oh, I'd love to go out with them, you know what I mean? But you don't even know how to go up and ask them on a date, and then you don't know how to close them into becoming your partner, and you don't know how to close them into becoming your wife and whatever, jumping into bed with you, all that fun stuff, then you're going to have a hard life, right? So business and personal life merge so well together, you know. And for me, like, it's probably why I've got such a bloody hot wife. You know, my wife's very attractive, and she's 10 years younger. But I'm like, I just ask her, you know, I asked, and then I asked for this, and I asked for that, and then I asked to have babies, and I asked for everything else, and you know, and it happened. Same with her, actually. She's really, really good at sales. She did, before she met me, she was she sold equestrian products, right, on commission, right? So fucking hard job. Drove around, asking for the sale, selling the products, crushed it. Like, and before that, she did another sales role. You know what I mean? So she was very confident. She's like, hey, do you want to catch up? Do you want to go out? Do you want to whatever? And, you know, hey, I'd like 2 babies in the house and, and everything else we've achieved together, right? You know, but, so our kids are going to be great at sales, hopefully. But all the other things as well, I'm like obsessive about, you know. So like recently you'll see that I've onboarded Andy Selman as our CFO, you know. Andy was CFO of a company that did $7 billion. Do you know what I mean? Like, and CEO of Laminex Australia, I think. It might be growing. I think that's right. Huge company. So I'm like, I want to learn from that guy because he's a bloody it's a weapon, you know. So then I can pass all this information down to my kids and I can speak about it. So naturally, that just like it flows through me. It's like it's so easy to communicate now. I just know it in my bones, right? And I think, getting to my point again, I'm not going to keep rambling too much longer, but super important that you know how to do that. You know, I can talk about SEO and Google ads and Facebook ads and copywriting and nearly every aspect of an e-com business. Like, I can speak at a very, very, very high level about all those topics, right? So when time comes to teach my kids about that, they're going to be killers at it. You know, both, if they get into business, man, they're going to have a bloody 7-figure business by the time they're 6, right? And it'll be easy, right? This is the important bit. They'll get it. They'll understand it. It'll be easy. They won't have to struggle for years like some of you trying to figure it out. So I watch people struggle for years and years and years. And I've seen people, like, since I kind of got out of my own ecom business and I joined the ecom community, so to speak, because I was always a bit of a just doing my own thing. And then I joined it, and I'm like, and I've met people along the way. Some of those people who I met from 2014 still doing the same shit, still struggling, still setting a shit example for their children, for their partners, for their friends, still haven't figured it out, and don't have the courage to go and ask for help, right? So if you've watched my previous video, if not, please watch my previous video. They don't have the skills, or they don't have all the skills. This is important as well. Some people are doing very, very well, but they don't have all the skills to get them to where they want to go quicker, and they don't ask as well, because they haven't figured out if that person is the perfect kind of person, like I mentioned in the other video. So I hope this has kind of been really clear. Again, my point is that you need to become the best version that you can become, so that you pass on that to your kids, so your kids don't suffer and struggle trying to figure it out from other people, right? Because this is what's going to happen. If you don't teach them, right, they're going to go to YouTube and they're going to learn from all the fucking gurus and flounder around, suffer, struggle, probably not figure it out. Some of you that have got genius babies will figure it out. It'll be like 1 in 50, but for the rest, you'll have a hard time. So please, consider this. Get the best help that you can get from the right people that care about you, that want to see you successful, that want to see you successful fast, right? And you will have, a much more enjoyable life, a much more fun business. You'll make way more money. You'll spend more time with your kids. Your kids will have great role models that they're like, that's my dad, that's my mum. Look how amazing they are, right? So, and they taught me everything I know. Much like, I should probably round this out here. I learned heaps from my mum and heaps from my dad, as much as they weren't the most amazing business people ever. Watching their work ethic and watching the way they do things and watch the way they're obsessive about learning and so forth. And my dad can fucking make anything, right? Anyone knows him, he make anything, fix anything, right? Might not be right, but he'd fix anything, right? And everyone should want that for their kids, to be able to say that about their dad. All right. On that note, see yous.